Don't have any injuries for you. Guys are coming in now. We'll be staying in town this week for the bye week. Guys have to be tested daily, so there won't be travel taking place. With that, I'm proud of our guys for where we stand at this point of the season for the bye week. We still have plenty of work to get accomplished. Yesterday was a good example, even though we won the game. There are things we can learn in all three phases to better ourselves for working down the stretch here. So we'll get busy on that when the guys get back into town and are back into the building this next week here. So all in all, though, I thought there were some good individual performances yesterday against what I think was a good football team, and will continue to be a good football team as they go forward. I mean, I think of the things that they've had to get done in a short period of time with a new coaching staff coming in, with the pandemic going on and so on. Matt's really done a nice job with that group, and they've got good talent. They drafted some good young players and showed yesterday in the way they played. But I'm most proud of our guys and the job that they did of battling through. And if there was any question on the makeup of the team and the want to, I think that was a pretty good example yesterday when things needed to be done, they got done, and we were able to finish the game with a win. Anyways, with that, time's yours.
Go first to Bob Fesco. Go ahead, Bob.
Andy, when you look at where you guys are right now at 8-1, obviously at the bye week, what do you like best about what your team did in kind of that first half of the season? And what are you looking at to improve as you move forward for the final 7 regular season games?
Yeah, so, I mean, listen, there's things in all three phases that I've liked. Offensively, the compete, the spreading the ball around, whether it's in the run game or the pass game, getting everybody involved in the game. The offensive line for filling in the blanks that they've had to fill in with people being injured. So, and still playing at a high level. Defensively, I like our aggressiveness and toughness. We're flexible with the schemes that we've got, and according to different teams we play. I think we've gotten better against the run game as we've gone forward. And yet both sides of the ball, we've got all this room to improve. So, and then special teams, we've done a good job with our coverage teams, and we've had a couple nice plays in there. We got one back on us yesterday, but we've had some good things that we've done there on special teams. So again, with room to improve in all three areas.
Let's go next to Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Andy. Looks like Mike Remmers might have lost a touchdown catch yesterday with that holding penalty. And just wanted to know, asking semi-seriously, and Chris Jones wants to know the answer to this question too. How do you determine a guy's fitfulness for that role, whether it's Dontari Poe or Eric Fisher or Mike Remmers or whoever? And Brad will have a quick follow-up too.
Yeah, so Remmers, we've seen that he could catch and has a pretty good feel for that play. It just, the guy grabbed him and kind of tackled him there. So they did a good job on that, on defending it, but they got a penalty on it too. So I told Remmers he should be proud of that they paid that much attention to him. Normally for offensive linemen, that doesn't take place, but they did on that play. So, but how do you determine? You just got to look around and make sure a guy can do certain things when they're messing around out there before practice starts. And if you see one that you think has a little talent, then you use them.
And also, Austin Ryder was back yesterday. Is that just a case where his knee is better than it was, and he was ready to go for a full game?
Yeah, it looked like we saw him in practice. We had him in a limited role in practice, and it looked like it was getting better. And so we felt like he could jump back in and work back in there.
Let's go next to Aaron Ladd. Go ahead, Aaron.
Coach Patrick told us after the game yesterday that for you to put a play like Ferrari right into the game plan for Sunday, you have to kind of see it in the walkthrough beforehand. I'm curious what you're looking for in the walkthrough that tells you, this play is ready for the limelight.
Yeah, well, you've seen enough of them, right? You've seen enough plays. You have a pretty good feel on what time's up right, and so if I see it, I can normally go with it if I like it. If it fits. So that play worked out well. It timed up well. We had enough guys that had a chance to catch the ball, and we had a center that felt comfortable snapping it. And Patrick and the guys, they go over during special teams and work on these crazy things when they get a minute. And that one caught my eye.
Let's go next to Herbie Teope. Go ahead, Herbie.
Hey, good afternoon, Coach. How beneficial is this bye week going to be for guys like Sammy Watkins, Mitchell Schwartz, and L'Jarius Sneed? And then as a follow-up to that, as well as how optimistic will you have those three for the stretch run starting in Week 11?
Yeah, we'll see on that. I want to get them out and practice them to see where we're at, and we're not going to do that this week. So, but I think the time is beneficial to them. I think it's beneficial to the whole team, coaches included, and where you can step back an inch and get yourself ready for the stretch run here of the season, the remaining part of the season. And we've got some great competition, which is great for the fans. And we love having competition, and it's there. These are good football teams that we got coming in front of us here. So we look forward to that. But for right now, we recharge the battery and we go back and self-scout ourselves. We do a pretty good job of that throughout the season, but it gives you, a little bit of time here to evaluate and make any changes that you need to make or adjustments, and then get on with the Raiders, who are a heck of a football team. So
Go next to Seren Petro. Go ahead, Seren.
Coach, I know you talked a lot about kind of the relationship you had with Matt Rule and Britt and everybody and all that. But now that you've gone against him, and I know you had some kind things to say about him beforehand, but has anybody, fired as many bullets as he fired? Fourth downs, fake punts, onside kicks. I mean, you always talk about how you guys kind of have a bullseye. I mean, literally the kitchen sink was thrown at you. Can you think of a game where somebody did as many things that would maybe be considered to be extreme as Matt Rule did in that game, and just your reaction to it?
Yeah, well, he had the machine gun loaded, man. I mean, it was it was impressive. But listen, we kind of expect that from teams. You're going to get the best shot. I've said that before, and you guys have asked me that. So I'm that he just loaded it up a little bit more than maybe some of the others had, but I anticipate we'll get that from teams, and it keeps you on your toes. That's a good thing. I'm impressed by, though, what he's done with that team. I mean, when you really step back and think about it, that's a tough thing. You no off season, new coaching staff, new quarterback, a bunch of rookies that they drafted on the defensive side of the ball. And here you go. And then whatever injuries take place during the season, or guys opt out, go on, guys retire. One of their better players retired. And now he puts together this team. I mean, I have a ton of respect for him.
Let's go next to Sam McDowell. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Andy. Usually this time of year, you tell your guys just to try and get away from the game for a full week. It seems like that might be a little bit more difficult when they're actually coming to the facility and getting tested every day. So what was your message to the players as you go into this bye week?
Yeah, go to the trailer, but not the building, and get away. Right, stay in that trailer. But I want him to step back and rest up. And so And I want the coaches to do the same. The coaches will work a couple days here, but I want them to do the same thing. And there's a point where you've got to do that. And but we'll crank as coaches. We'll crank here for a couple of days. Players don't need to do that. They need to get their bodies back where it's comfortable and feels good for the stretch here, and the best they possibly can. If they need treatment, the building's open for that.
Let's go next to Pete Sweeney. Go ahead, Pete.
Hey, Coach. I'm sure you know this, but with your win yesterday, you're now in the top 5 regular season, postseason. Something that always stands out when we talk about guys like Mike Holmgren is just the respect that you have for the game. So what does it mean when you stand alone now as the top 5 most successful coaches of all time?
Yeah, that's again, I haven't looked back at it as much, but I saw it come up I was watching the game last night and I saw that come up there. It's a pretty amazing deal. Been lucky to have has been around as many great players and coaches as I have been. So it's not one guy that does all that. It's everybody together, pulling together, getting it done. And I've had a chance to work for a couple of great organizations too. So can't be enough said for that. To give you an opportunity to kind of do what you do, So that's but I'm sure there'll be a time down the road when you can look back at it and see, think about it a little bit more. But right now, Raiders.
Got time for a few more. We'll go Matt, Roberts, and then Bob. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Coach, a couple of questions. First, you talked a little bit about Patrick maybe playing the best football he has so far. How much of that do you attribute to just the film work and what he puts in that way as far as preparation goes?
Yeah, well, his preparation's phenomenal. He's in a great room with guys that love to work too. So he doesn't have to sit there and beg a coach to come in and watch tape or beg a Chad Henne to come in and watch tape. These guys are all in with him, and he's leading the charge, and they're right there with him. So it's a great environment for him. It's headed up by Eric. I mean, nobody works harder than Eric Bieniemy, and so he's able to organize that and keep the guys going. Mike Kafka is relentless that way too, and Patrick, Chad. I mean, that it's just a good. It's a healthy room, and so you can build a foundation there. I mean, as you watch the tape, you can bounce things off of one of these people that are in there, and it's kind of a check and double check system that they've got, and it works. So, but I love Patrick's approach to the game. I love his approach every day is consistency. Some guys are up and down, and you get a different person one day and another guy the next day. I mean, this guy is the same guy every day, and he's going to bring it. And he's going to bring it on the field. He's going to bring it off the field, and he's smart. So it's great. I've said this before, but it's great for young kids to know that it's not just all talent, but it's the hard work that goes into it. Exploit what you've got, make it even greater than what you have right now, and you can always work on it to become better.
Along those same lines of playing their best football, does Travis fit in that category? Is this kind of maybe the best you've seen him play in his time? And would he be like maybe an MVP type candidate if you didn't have a quarterback like Patrick?
Well, I think the world of him. I mean, he's got a great feel for the game. Nobody loves to play more than he does. I mean, he's right up there. He's still fired up at 30 plus here, and wants to be better every day. I mean, he tells me every day, man, I'm just going to work to get better, and you get enough of those kind of guys, and we're lucky to have some, where we get enough of those guys and good things normally happen.
Go next to Robert Ribson. Go ahead, Robert.
Hey, Coach. So obviously there are a lot of things you guys are going to be looking at heading into Raiders Week, but is the missed PATs, is that something that's high of a priority for you guys to fix, or is it something you're confident Harrison Butker can get past?
Yeah, so Harrison studies. He's another guy that analyzes and studies everything. I think it'd be good for him to step back an inch and then kind of sort it all out and then go back and get back into a rhythm here and make sure that he's feeling all these. And, you know, nobody knows it better than the player does. It doesn't hurt to have a little bit of time to just step back and look at it. Sometimes you can take a step back and take a bigger step forward once you sit there and evaluate. So he'll do that. We all have confidence that that's what he is. If you're around him enough, you know that, right? So he's not going to miss too many of these.
We'll go last to Bob Fisco. Go ahead, Bob.
Andy, you have the Raiders coming up. You've mentioned them twice already. Number one, is it safe to say you're preparing for them? And with two, Pat throwing over 100 touchdowns now in his career, which is your favorite one?
Wow. The last one and the next one. Yeah. So no, listen, I mean, that's what we do. We move on and you learn from the game that you're in, win or lose, you're going to learn certain things. And you know, one of the keys in this business is try not to make the same mistake twice. And if you can do that, you're going to keep moving forward, I think. So, and the Raiders are the next opponent. And so they're not, it's a AFC West team. They're not too far. It's a rival. It's not too far away from your memory as you go through here this week.